Welcome back to another video. Um, we'll be doing a few different things. Um, First thing is I'll be, I want to say thank you if you watched the prior video, which we implemented some backup and recovery. That was most certainly fun. In this video, we're going to be doing some install and verification with Snort. And a few different things with Snort, particularly not just that, but the installing of the assistance programs, the configuring Snort, and looking at some Snort verification and results of that as well. So first is just going to do the install of the assistance programs, and there's a few programs, few different programs, right, which will be of assistance to our install. So we're going to be using Notepad++, which helps to list the numbers of lines, the number of lines for editing, the Notepad files, and there's going to be a large amount of edits required, so clarity is key to completing this efficiently. And 7-zip is going to be used to open up and decompress zip files related to Snort. So let's actually go ahead first with installing Notepad++, which is it's an excellent alternative to basic Notepad because we get loads of extra features and it can actually open up a more of a vast range of file types. Most importantly, it numbers the lines, which makes editing code a lot easier to find and alter. So um, so now that we've connected here, let's actually head here, right? And we're gonna take a look at some tools. And hacking tools. Then let's see this here. I want to say, right, it's just downloading file right now. And the install right now is just pretty straightforward. Once it does run, right, here it is. Nothing crazy. Localization. Actually, let me see. Yeah, want to make sure it's on the C drive. These are fine. That's a different code here. Right, but nonetheless, we can go ahead and hit install. Let me take a look at these components. Okay. No, we don't really need those. So, except this one. All right, and I'm just going to install 7-zip as well. I'll place you guys on the other side of that. All right, so I've finally downloaded everything. I didn't want to take you guys through the whole rigmarole of all of this. But now we're going to do some configuring for Snort. Now, Snort configurations can be complicated. There's a lot of rules to be considered and many more which can be manually programmed into Snort. So what Snort does is it'll measure traffic against those rules, and then so longing as they have been configured correctly, Snort would then alert the user to problems occurring by providing an on-the-fly, so to speak, alert system. So additionally, you don't want to copy and paste. Sometimes also, as appealing as it is, you are in fact copying invisible characters to those spaces which the program will read and eject an error. So I'm just going to install and update the Snort rules. So first I'm going to configure the Snort rules which are used for the basic setup of the intrusion detection system. And the rules are double compressed in a tar format and also used in a DZ format. So a double extraction is going to be needed. So the Snort rules package is more up to date and then the default installed rule version that I have here. And so now I'm just going to actually extract these files here with 7-zip. So let's see. There we go. Right. Should be in. Okay. There we go. Just wanted to make sure the rules were extracted specifically to this folder. So let's actually here, right? For our front directory, we're going to delete this one, and we want to delete this here. We have the more updated rules, so I just extracted. So let's actually head to here. Now we can see the rules that we need to have. We're going to actually use these. So uh, perfect. All right, so let me actually go back here. All right, and should be here. Now let's see. Here, what that is. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so let's start configuring these Snort rules. So Notepad, it has the smoothest interface, Notepad++, for editing functions, right? So numbers and lines, which are very useful for debugging errors. So going to be making changes to some of the core files to make them compatible with Windows. Now, this next part is kind of tricky and requires attention to detail, as many configuration changes must be applied. So the file that I'm in, the snort dot configuration, rather CONF, is broken up into 9 steps, right? Which can be seen in the hash boxes, right here. And the 9 steps, um, I had to look for these when referring to specific steps, right? So the 9 have been numbered for clarity of reference, right? So just going to change the configuration file. You have to be ultra observant to the changes. We're going to review each line number, which is indicated with the hash value, then change the default line to another line, right? So I'm going to start with line 45. Let's see. So line 45, as you can see, IPVAR, home underscore net any. I'm actually going to change it to changing this portion only. That's it. And changing it to this here. 16 bit. All right. And then line 48, any? Nope. We want home net, home underscore net. All right. That looks pretty good. All right, so let's take a look at 104. Okay. All right, so take this out here. And we want C. Of course, we know what C is. C drive. Let's ignore rules instead. All right. And then let's see. 105. We want to change that to, just taking my time. I want to make sure it's exactly what it's supposed to look like. We want to add a hashtag here. Right. If for some reason my keyboard doesn't jive with whenever I want to include an additional symbol, I don't know if I'm using Mac. But there we go. Copy and paste. All right, so this, let's see. That looks good. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so for 106, Let's see. Okay, so we're actually going to change the direction of the flash, and Snort, and we want the C drive there, and we're going to get rid of these. Okay, and for 113, let's see. Going to change the direction of the slash again. We want Snort. And we want the C drive. All right. Make sure that's correct. We're going to do the exact same thing to black as well. Path. Okay. Oh, wait. Almost broke my own rule. Well, not my rule, but, don't copy and paste. Now, the hashtag is a little different. I literally can't use that symbol with just my keyboard. Let's see. That looks good. All right, so let's actually save this. Looks good. Perfect. So now I'm just going to configure the decoder. Let's see. Let's take a look at 186. Okay. We want actually we want to take this guy out and then space. Then I'm going to save this one as well. All right, so now I can configure the base detection engine by configuring the dynamic loaded library. So let's take a look at 246 to 253. Let's see this one. Dynamic preprocessor directory. Okay, I got it. I'm actually going to change this to it is. That's what I want. Being super careful. Okay. All right, last one. Okay, again, not recommended, but not sure what this lab, why it hates my keyboard whenever I'm trying to. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. Let me try this first. Typically when I do this, it doesn't work. Yep, still doesn't work. All right, so we added the hashtag. Now, actually, yeah, I thought it would, there it is. Just needed to add this and everything else looks like it would remain exactly the same. Okay. All right, perfect. So we're good there. So now we're going to configure the preprocessor. So now I'm just going to edit lines 265 through 269. So let's do that here. Over this one, looks like it'll be about the same. Just adding a hashtag and making sure there's a space between the hashtag and the first word. And then let's see, 267. ICMP4. Same thing. Looks like it'll be the same for all, but I want to double check. Wish I didn't have to paste this. Makes it easier, but I like things done correctly. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it as far as those changes. for the preprocessors. I'm gonna save that, and then just want to take a look at line 418. First, that's this. I think I'm gonna move it. And what else does it need? Looks like that's about it. And then to create my own list of acceptable and unacceptable lists, that would be 511, 512, right here. Let's see. We're pretty much just changing the direction of the slash. Right. And then yeah, that's fine. Then for the blacklist, change the direction of the slash. Right. Actually, there was one thing I almost didn't see. All right, perfect. So again, just trying to go through it with a fine tooth comb. Uh, change the direction and the underscores while we're removing the rules. Looks good so far. So now I'm going to configure the output plugin. Right. Actually, don't have any to worry about. Looks like. So let's actually take a look at customizing the rule set. So let's see, 546 to 651. So because this is so long, pretty much all of the forward slashes need to be changed to backslashes. I'm not going to put you guys through that. You've been through enough agony. So I'll put you guys on the other side for when this is completely done. Finally completed all 800,000 of these guys here. I made them all backslash and forward slash or forward back. I forget exactly, but nonetheless, I've completed it. So now we can move forward with customizing the preprocessor and decoder alerts. So that would include, let's see which lines are these, like here. So we can do, we're just going to remove these here. Just the hashtag. So remove them. That's it. Anything else on them? We're changing the slashes too. We're making them backslash instead of forward slash. So let's change that. Perfect. Save it. Okay. And we can also, now typically the last step would be to customize the shared object sort rules, but we don't have to do anything there. We have our own. All right. So now we can actually make a white list, a white dot list, and a black dot list. Now we'll make two lists that's going to represent the white and black list, typically used to list the IPs which are allowed and which ones are prohibited or banned from internet access on the network. So first, you have to see the file extensions of each file. So I'm going to go to the here. And let's see here. Where is it? Oh, here. There it is. All right, perfect. So now I have to create the white and black list. It's very simple, but without these created files, Snort is going to create an error when trying to load up. So let's see. Gonna do new text dot. Now I'm actually gonna do white. I'm gonna change it to just fine, perfectly fine. Want to do it again? Work. All right. So now within each file, what I'm going to do is okay. I'm going to edit though. Oh, excuse me. With Notepad and add a line there. Um, um, actually, I know what to do here. There we go. Wait, don't buddy. All right, so for which list is this? Black list. All right, so I'm just going to do this guy here. Damn it. Okay, let's make sure it's correct. That is good. All right, perfect. And then where's the white person? The same thing. Not exactly the same. Same concept. Perfect. Actually, close them out. All right. And I'm actually going to be able to move forward with the next portion, which is snort verification and results. So it's a very complicated setup, but this is all critical to understanding the intrusion detection system, which in turn is critical to security naturally, right? So you always want to take your time, look for any errors which have been output by Snort, right? And you want to check very carefully the syntax used in the Snort configuration file and that we've written everything clearly using the right characters and spaces. Also, you want to be careful with inputting the commands into the Windows command or CMD. Incorrect characters here can cause errors. So let's get to testing. We laid the groundwork, laid the foundation for what we want and need. So let's start testing, right? So it works from the command line interface CLI. So we got to open this from Windows. So let's go ahead and do that. This profile with this. So that. Okay, that perfect. All right, let's get started. Snort. Now we're in. All right, perfect. So Snort. Where is that? There it is. Okay. Let's start. Oh, okay. Let's see there. There it is. All right, so now I'm going to check the Snort version. Um, version 2983, Win32 GRE, build 383. And I did use, I want to make sure to make this point. I used a capital B. It's very important to use that to make sure that we're doing it correctly. Now we need to find the interface for Snort to monitor. So let's do Snort here. Let's do all of these here, right? And from here, we can only find one interface to index. Well, we really don't see any. We should be finding one. Oh, that's interesting. But we're going to test the configuration file for the system now anyways. So let's do here. I did read one device. This is error if my command is good. Huh. Now, I was just looking to see, looks like the command is fine. Snort is a challenging tool to configure correctly because it's syntax heavy and it's easy to miswrite a critical location or path name. So there may well be errors. So below, what we're going to do now is take a look. Well, we thought I was going to go below here. We're going to start looking at fixing the error. So there may be errors, and Snort may tell you where the error exists by giving the line on this configuration file. So now I'm just going to show, we're going to take a look at the error where it potentially has occurred. Um, It didn't give us any issues prior. Let's see where's the look. Take a look back actually here. I'm gonna say at the beginning because I got meticulous more as I was going. But I would predict it would be here. As far as me being more suggestive to myself because it seemed easier, I was less meticulous as far as setting up something like this. Um, let's see. All right. I don't still don't see any issue. Let's see. I was able to get it running finally with the input. And as you can see, the memory cap, the bytes, the bit, and then the rule application order activation. And what's happening is I'm successful now. The Snort configuration after I amended it, a few minor things. The configuration was being verified by Snort, and I got a final output with the success confirmation as well. Just go here towards the bottom, initialization processing, successfully validated the configuration for editing, things of that nature. Now we're just going to do a second test. Now, what I'm going to do is continue the testing phase before to confirm again that we are able to manually assign rules and have it check against them. So I'm going to generate it similar by adding my own rule. So I'm going to access the local rule in the notepad, at least in the notepad. Let's see. Actually, where are you already? So I'm going to add a few rules for different protocols to test for different protocols. So let's see. Okay, let's see. All right, perfect. So I'm just going to add a few things here, but I'm going to add them towards down here. I'll start at 22 actually. We're going to do alert DIM, ICMP. Okay, first alert. Then you're gonna do use the datagram. Uh, okay. And last, I'm gonna do the transmission control. Very good. Okay, perfect. It's gonna head back here. So this just means that any alert which is found will be written to the console for me to see. And in this case, you just got to be a little patient with the screen whenever they're being presented. So when it does alert for Snort taking place, right? I'm actually going to go to the site to do some testing. Right, so let's actually head to Google. Right. Now, Snort, what's going to do is output all the results into a table presented in the command window. It's going to highlight the alerts, which I've been registered to present a lot of different details about the traffic. So, whenever you're reviewing the results, I'm actually going to stop it by doing control with the circuit. And that's to get some interesting outputs to read about the traffic and the alerts which have taken place on this system. Now, we can learn a few things, like how long the packet processing has been operating. So, with our example, which would be about not too many too much longer. We see 398 total packets, right? And so it's worth its time as well. Um, I'll guess obviously what it's doing. Literally just started it, then open up Google, or open up the site, and then the Internet Explorer, then Google. But during that time, we get an average output. Let's see how many packets. uh, but it should tell us things like the average output of packets per minute, and this is mainly usually in the HTTP. Um, right. Just checking again. But it makes sense. We're using a web browser to be arriving from our port 8080, and the total amount of packet, the IO input and output, should show us a number as well. Um, Again, I'm not just not the, total interest of not making this video too long, but to going over the general concept of what we're usually doing whenever we're using a tool like Snort, or what we're looking for whenever we use a tool, right? But it does normally give us a total amount, which it is, I just mentioned. It was fairly quick, so only about 398. right? And accounting typically for a nice high percentage of the total traffic, which could be analyzed and also give us a good idea of the route packages. So again, it was so quick. I mean, it was as soon as it got started, I pretty much stopped it, right? So because that's also a useful breakdown of the protocol type. I've been configuring, not surprisingly, just mainly through Ethernet, IPv4, right, and TCP traffic. And yeah, so standing received, analyzed. It looks like it's about 99, over 99%. And there should typically be some ARP, some ICMP um, packets as well. But the alert status tells us more about the alerts that took place, and which is understandable. We configured the set for TCP, ICMP, and UDP protocols are the main types of traffic, right? And we moved back down to the HTTP and so we see different methods that were recorded during the traffic analysis, right? And we could see the amount of HTTP response headers that were extracted and cookies for that information number that had a particular number as well. So we got down enough yet to see exactly what that number is, but it would show us as well. But yeah, that is it for this video. Just for a very, very brief recap, we installed some assistance programs to help us with Snort. We did some Snort configurations, and we also did some Snort verification and took a look at those resources that we can see here on the command interface here. But again, the end of this video, the next one is going to be even more fun, where we're going to be configuring and securing the IIS. I'll see you there. Stay curious, stay secure.